What's up? What's up, everybody? This is your boy Scott Lewis, apartment gamer and more. We're going to talk a little bit about the Brooklyn Nets and their future with the draft and some other things that goes on in Brooklyn Nets. Cam Thomas also. We're also going to talk about Gil Arenas, talking about Brooklyn Nets being a tier 1 type marketing team, which I think a lot of Net fans know that we have a big market. We share this market with another team, the Knicks, and how California with the Lakers and the Clippers share a market, and they are the, tier 1 type places where a lot of players will go to for endorsements and sneaker deals and all the other things that they can get. I want to start off with Gil Arenas thing. I'm gonna bring that up so we can check out what they were saying about that. Bring that up. And it's interesting that that he would put that in perspective that way with let me just go straight to the video and then we'll check this out. Okay. Let's bring that up.
Draft.
Going to the NBA. $60 million online.
Yeah, I don't know.
College was was fun, but it's time to,
Give me my money.
He got his shoe deal already with New Balance.
Lexi, you went to Duquesne.
If he really wanted to be a college student, he would have stayed his ass at, he reclassified, correct?
Mm-hmm.
To go
up,
earlier?
right? To go, what do you think he finna do?
Spend more time in college.
No, not a chance.
he's going.
Duke education.
No, he could have been.
Tell me, what do they want?
He could have been incoming
first pick
freshman
was-
next year if he wanted to.
He's smart, because what are they
what,
going?
60
He's going to say, I can't wait to get out of here.
First
Like,
pick
you're
like,
not going
what,
to
60
say that. You
Yes,
have
you
all
can.
these.
Yes, you can.
No,
We
why-
know he leaving.
Right, but why would you just say
Because
that?
false hope.
$60 million?
People went to Kentucky and know them dudes are one and done. Dudes
They said
they go to Duke, Kentucky.
The crazies know. It happens
and done.
every year.
One and done.
One thing about it is when people bring up things about the players leaving and trying to, it's been talked about, like players get to choose where they could from their standpoint coming out of college where they want to play at. I don't think that'll come to fruition, but I mean, it's been talked about, and usually things that get talked about usually end up happening. Look at the players that are getting paid now in college as well.
Every year. They come in and they leave.
Yeah, absolutely. Zion, Marvin.
All of them.
You name it. From
In, out.
we go back to Kyrie.
Kyrie, 11 games.
Corey Maggette.
Shout out Corey Maggette.
You name them.
Yeah.
Forgot about that
It's
Corey
just
Maggette.
fun. They just
All
have
of
fun.
them. You name they've been one leave.
They just want to make them feel good.
I'm gonna have that conversation.
What about Christian Laettner, though, can you?
And Grant Hill, 4 years, absolutely. All of them. Bobby Hurley.
What about getting an education?
And see
How
how
they
they
using that education?
see how they worked out for all of them.
How they using that education? Whatever they studied in school, is they using it today?
No,
sir.
out there.
He out of there.
Successful business.
Guarantee Grant Hill didn't go to journalism broadcast school. Guarantee
wanna
he didn't
shout
go
out
to
the,
how to run USA basketball. He didn't.
I want to shout out the women's team. They just won the ACC tournament.
Shit, okay.
So shout out
Whoa.
to the women.
They hooping.
Just wanted to say that.
Okay, so they both balling.
Yeah, they got Notre
If
Dame.
I'm the
They
team,
got
I'm
Notre
gonna
Dame
tell them,
outta
listen,
here.
I know you're leaving, the fuck all that. But look, hey, can you announce it after I sell these season tickets?
We raising the prices.
let me
No,
sell
that's rude.
Let me sell these season tickets for next year before you announce, okay? That's all I'm asking.
Listen,
like
it
a
don't
business.
matter.
I know.
It don't
I know,
matter.
it's Duke.
They got somebody else coming next year.
And that's
I'm
why
about to
he
say,
won't.
it's
They
Duke.
got the Boozer boys coming in already, right?
That's why he
Oh,
won't.
facts.
So
Very
listen,
true.
it don't even matter. Them seats are sold.
Yeah, you got the same.
No matter
Small
what.
arena, small,
Them
but
seats
they're
are
matter
easy.
what.
sold.
You got the
good
same
arena.
Number one player in the class coming in.
You got the same.
Good
It's the same position. So
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Got the number one.
Factory.
Absolutely. It's just like when Marvin left, Zion left, Marvin was coming in. Zion, they just keep recycling.
'Cause I can guarantee you, if he,
6'9" guys that can play basketball.
if he publicly say, "Hey, I'm staying," Boozer gonna be like, "Really?
Oh, really? Really?
Hey, what's that other school around the corner?
Ain't nobody going
North
there.
Carolina? Is that
Ain't
the
nobody going there.
What?
Is that North Carolina? Huh?
What?
They're not going to USC.
Why would you play the same position?
Oh.
We play the same position. What the fuck we doing?
He can learn.
Yeah,
I thought they
I'm
were-
gonna
I thought they were
learn.
guards. I thought they were
Same.
guards.
Whooping his ass
Hey.
at the school. At the
The kid Boogie Ellis was out here. I told if Cassius Stanley go there, Boogie gonna decommit.
what he
Cassius
did.
Stanley went to Duke. What Boogie Ellis do? Where he end up?
USC, right?
Here, right?
You goddamn So it's that situation. Play the same position. The dude, you put the guys in a certain situation. They don't
Yeah, because you're
Right.
bank. The reason like
he
'Cause they
signed her because he
think-
the
think
reason
he
it comes out, you
He's
leaving,
out of there.
motherfucker. Yeah.
Absolutely, he one and done. That was Boozer. I know my daddy went here, but I'm coming there to be the man. I'm not coming there to play second fiddle.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, Wizards, Hornets, Jazz, I think tie for best odds to win the lottery.
What, the number one pick?
To get the number one pick right now. I think
Wizards
each
Also
have a
position to be in.
14%
Wizards
chance.
what?
Wizards, Hornets, and Jazz. Utah Jazz.
I see Jazz.
Charlotte would be
Kenya's
cool.
now favorite team.
For him?
obviously.
Right there.
For him and his
Yeah,
success?
best option for Cooper Flag next year between those three teams.
Or his success, probably Hornets.
It's right down the street from
Um,
dude.
Because you have a point guard, you have a shooting guard, you don't have to be great
Is he
at
the-
the beginning. Yeah.
Is he the 3 or the 4?
3-4.
Because what is Brandon Miller? He's the 2?
3-4.
2-3.
2-3.
But see, Brandon Miller, like he's a 2. So I can move him. I can have him
Miles
and Melo as the back guard.
Bridges.
Him and Mal.
How many draft picks do Charlotte Hornets need in order to be good? Hey, John, how you doing, man? Yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about the draft and the guild thing and anything else that you want to talk about. But I want to finish this part of the video where he mentions the tiers, which I thought was real important. All right, I'm getting right back to it.
Miles Bridges, whoever has the better matchup. I got you guys at the 3-4, and then Mark Williams at the 5. That team instantly will be like Detroit Pistons. As long as everybody's healthy, they can instantly go and be like oh
this
shit.
current,
This current Detroit. Because what Cooper Flag is
Pistons
Cooper
now.
Flag is he defends. Like he's like an old school white boy. They out
He
there
play
playing hard as a
He play
motherfucker.
hard as shit.
No, I'm just out there
He
like
He play hard like
2025.
Matt Harper and them.
yeah, Matt Harper.
2025.
He play
You know
hard
what I'm
like
talking
Matt
about.
Harper.
Matt
I know
Harper
exactly-
and
yes,
Carolina.
absolutely.
They out there just motherfucker just sweating on you and shit.
He does wear New Balance.
Oh, damn, relax.
Play hard
but,
as a
but he can play offense.
And he's really good.
yeah, and that's what I said. He got
Another
the,
end.
So he's
he
like
got
the old
hustle and the
school,
defense
but
of an
now
old
we got
school white kid.
the
And he athletic like a black guy. So.
Yeah. So you got a little mixture going on over there. Like, you know what? I'm good over here. Come on, y'all remember the white boys they put in the game? You're like, oh, man.
You know what it's
You can punch on them, give them a little elbow shot.
Brian
They still-
Cardinal.
Yeah, they're still right there. Just,
Hey,
They just happy to be here. All right.
Brian Cardinal.
yeah, running through walls. You're like, damn, this motherfucker don't ever.
Your era was Howland, the dude.
Hallenberg, like them motherfuckers
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
Mark Madsen.
Mark
Madsen. Yeah, you're like, fuck.
Hey,
It's like,
Hell yes, Kenyon.
that shit was so funny. That shit was hilarious. You should pull that motherfucking jump shot. I'm like, hell no. That motherfucker went in. Hell yes, Kenyon.
But I still think about that randomly from time to time. It just
That
popped in
shit
my
was,
head.
it was right on time, too. I like, man, good shot, bro.
But as I said, Charlotte.
you don't like Utah?
Because of his skin?
No,
No,
I mean,
yeah. I mean,
He go through
but
himself,
I like their point guard. What's the point guard they got? Isaiah.
Collier. I'm just listen. But Walker Kessler,
Yeah, they got a
marketing, and Cooper Flag.
yeah, that's a big tree. That's the two,
John Collins.
the
I like
3, 4,
it.
5. They can.
I like Utah too, though.
I'm just saying.
I'm
Utah
looking
wouldn't
forward
be bad.
to if he goes there, they're expecting him to be the number 1 option.
Who? No, Lauren Marketing is the number 1 option.
No, they're not.
Lauren Marketing is the number 1 option.
Then I wouldn't mind them then.
He's
I
the
wouldn't-
number.
I wouldn't mind Utah.
I think Utah's
Absolutely,
good.
Marketing is the number 1 option.
I like Utah because he got Charlotte. Just
He fit. No,
I don't even.
but
Charlotte is just a
he
bit
fit
too
with Charlotte.
chaotic.
He fit with Charlotte.
They gonna run.
They
they
gonna
get
run
up
him
and down
down.
the
He ain't got to
They
worry
just,
about
they,
it.
they just,
They'll fit
they
in
just
better
be having
right
a lot
now.
of shit going
No,
on.
I'm just saying,
like,
as a young,
but they
as a
changed
young
it.
team, I mean, just as a young player, you don't. He can come in and not really have pressure off the jump.
Yeah.
Right? So he can, and then you
What,
got LaMelo out there
Utah,
doing
there's
everything
some type of
for him.
expectation.
He can go out there and
Older.
average 16 and 12 and be like, oh shit, rookie of the year, and he ain't really have nothing to do. And then let him get into his own without any pressure.
Because he gonna make shots.
Utah
make
is
sure-
gonna
he
be
gonna make
somewhat
shots,
of
he
an
athletic.
expectation.
I think put him with LaMelo and them is.
So we asked the chat.
Before Utah, though, right?
We asked the chat best landing
big-ass
spot for
lineup.
Cooper
Not
Flag.
the Wizards.
It's a big ass lineup.
It was not the Wizards, Lexi, as you said. They got the least amount of votes, 12%.
Not the Wizards.
Jazz came next with 28%, but the Hornets, 60% of the chat.
For-
Like Cooper Flag.
Listen, for his brand, the Cooper Flag brand, I don't know what the percentage is of them when they get in there, but
Of them, when they get in there.
no, the team.
Okay.
Brooklyn. Brooklyn. You the NBA, you need a white hope. Brooklyn.
Big market.
A white hope.
My son got the shoe deal, right? And I looked at it. Just to look, there was 4 teams. It says tier 1 teams, right? You get a bonus if you get a bonus $1 million if you land in. It was New York Knicks, Lakers, Brooklyn, and Clippers.
You get a mill for the Clippers, too?
Yeah, no, it's the city. It's
Hell
the
yeah.
city.
The market, for
And then it had tier 2. And that's where Houston, Dallas,
Golden State.
what was on that team? San Francisco wasn't actually
Really?
there. No.
Wow, it's interesting.
Huh?
No Boston?
Boston was there.
What about
Tier
Chicago?
two.
Philly, Chicago. It was Philly, Chicago. It was 7 of them.
Miami, maybe.
Miami. Yeah, Miami.
Biggest cities, but not.
Right, the only team that surprised me that actually wasn't there was Golden State. Like, wait, huh? Like San Francisco? No, but it had tier 1, tier 2. You get, just getting there, you get
getting
drafted those
there,
days,
you get extra
you get a
money.
bonus. So it was, $1,500,000.
Damn.
You just get an extra bonus. The other teams, nah, they work for your shit.
Damn.
Figure it out.
That makes sense.
Give you an
though.
endorsement deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, hey John, do you think that it would be a good idea that they change the way the draft picks is and allowed some of the college players to choose where they go or choose a bracket?
Better, how would you do it? I came up with something pretty cool. I thought that the teams that are in the bottom of the East and the West that don't make the play-in or playoffs, they face each other in an ultimate play-in lottery bracket style one-match elimination game, and the top remaining team out of the worst teams gets the number 1 pick in the draft. Instead of relying on an NBA to bail you out by rigging the system in your favor or hoping your odds just by being crappy helps you, this kind of eliminates the reason why all teams should tank. If you don't win, it's because you're not the best team, but all the bottom teams face each other, and whoever the remaining team is, you earn the number 1 pick in the draft. I think that's a very fair idea, and it keeps buzz in the NBA and allows every team at the end of the season to fight for something, whether in the playoffs, play-in, or in this type of thing I came up with. I think
That's
that would
not.
be better all around.
I think that's not a bad idea, John. I really believe that.
Thanks, Scott.
Yeah, because they do it with the playoffs, with the play-in. They brought the play-in and it worked.
Yeah,
A lot of people participate in the playoffs, and that's good for the fans. It's good for the league. I think, because I never thought that college players would be making money. And look at them now; they get paid. So I mean, it's an interesting idea. I think it will work. Something, they need to try something because those little draft balls are just not working.
Right, and you also don't want teams to just tank the tank. I even said this. Listen, Jordy did what he felt was right this season. He didn't want to tank. He wanted his team to fight their asses off. They did. You won more than 20 games. You cost sports bettors a lot of money, defy a lot of odds.
That's for
So
sure.
maybe the case is, hey, we're the fourth just market going to this draft. We have a coach who gives a damn about actual player development. Good Zaire Williamson's three-point shooting improvements, Cam Thomas playmaking improvements. This is a coach that can turn any of these top 3 prospects into a solid product on the court because he cares about developing them the right way. So we actually have some things going for us in this upcoming draft. Do I believe they'll rig it for us because of that? Probably not. Our economic equity is a different story. We're bringing in a lot of revenue. I don't know if you saw what Brian Lewis said today. We're the number 1 American sports team on TikTok right now with likes. That's crazy. That's more
Yeah.
than the Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Knicks. That's like
Yeah,
see, we're bringing in a lot of good revenue for the NBA. So maybe this could work out in our favor. But at the end of the day, I just want us to get the best pick possible and have somebody that this coach can truly develop into a foundational piece. We really need a foundation.
Yeah, I'm really starting to like the idea of having Cooper Flag here. I really am, because I think he would be the best fit for Jordy as far as his ability to come in right away and start picking up whatever he needs to do. Because he has the defensive skills, and I like a defensive player too as well. Somebody athletic and defensive in mind. And it seems like Cooper is right there right now. What do you think about the injury?
Yeah, that was a downer, and I was doing show with Gary when it happened. And it just breaks your heart because Cooper Flag had a lot of people against him. Let's call out what it is. Everybody was talking about Ace and Harper because they're in Brooklyn's backyard and they want them over Cooper. But Cooper came in with a lot of people ready to throw darts at him, and he surpassed all the expectations this year. A leader through and through. He showed his defense, his rebounding, his playmaking. He scored 40 points in a Duke game. I think he set a record for Duke.
Yeah.
Everything they said he couldn't do, he did this season. He led in all the stats on Duke. So I think he definitely overcame a lot of barriers. I know everybody says the offense is still something that they think is going to be a weakness of his, but look at everything else he does. He's a jack of all trade. If you get the right pieces with him wherever he goes, you're going to have a top player leading that, and he's got a maturity factor and a moxie. Dude ain't afraid to talk trash talk to people, which I like. I like a player that has a chip on his shoulder, but he's doing all the right things by making sure his teammates are playing at a high level as he is. And you rarely see that in a top prospect. Every time everybody's a top prospect, can he score 50 points a game? How about look at what this guy's doing? He's changing the narrative on what a first-round pick is. And I think if we get him, like you said, Scott, we have the best defensive structure, I think, for Cooper Flag, just by what Jordy did in February. We had a winning record in February when Cam Thomas wasn't even playing. That, to me, screams what you could do. Imagine trading a Keon Johnson and a Reese Beekman for a Cooper Flag. Hallelujah. That'd be amazing. So I think Cooper would be a great for Jordy's system because I think in his first year, forget about the points he's going to average. Look at what he's going to do defensively. I think Jordy's going to put him in a position to be in the Defensive Player of the Year awards his first year. If you just focus on what he can do defensively, and the offensive identity, I think, will come if you draft another top prospect to pair with Cooper. And I think that could give us the beginnings of a top core. But I definitely agree that defensively, I think we have a great program that the NBA should look into if they're thinking about what is the best fit for Cooper Flag right now.
Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. Cooper exhilarates a lot of attention. He gets a lot of attention, which is good for the league. I think that also helps bring in some revenue that they've been missing. I just feel like the stars are lining up for the Nets. I feel like the NBA is probably looking for a way to increase its revenue and everything, and its shares on the market, this probably would be a good move for everybody. Cooper, the Nets, and the NBA. I really believe that. Also, I wanted to look at the other draft picks that they've been talking about. Ace Bailey, ability to his pick in the draft. I'm wondering if he's falling back behind the top 3. Do you believe he's still in the top 3?
Going into the season, I'll be honest. Ace for me was ranked third out of. Well, he was ranked second, kind of going into just overall like what he could bring to the table. But after watching a full season, Dylan Harper really took the bull by the horns. He became the QB alpha on that team when Ace started the season injured, and Harper really was excelling offensively. It wasn't his playmaking that was great; just offensively, Dylan Harper was being an alpha on that team. And I think he was the third best scorer in his draft class before he got hurt toward the end of the season. So I think Harper's stock really rose up. And Ace, he had some decent games, but his just overall, he needs a lot of work. I think Ace out of the top 3 definitely needs the most development. He definitely needs to get on a weight regimen program. His offense is good, but I feel like it's a little predictable. Once he figures out his athleticism, his defense, and his offense, the sky's the limit for a guy like Ace Bailey. But he needs a coaching staff that can kind of get him to unlock all of that and make it more unpredictable, and he'll be a force. But to your point, I definitely think a few teams, if they have the third pick in that draft, they might opt to get a VJ Edgecombe over a Ace Bailey. Look at the Hornets, for example. Say the Hornets get the third pick in this draft. They already have Brandon Miller, who's their forward right now, and he's a great bucket scorer. So getting Ace with Miller is a little redundant, whereas you get Edgecombe, he kind of fits what they're looking for. He could be a scoring guard for them, or he could be a small forward. So there are some now potential chances that if a team that doesn't need Ace gets in that third pick selection, they might go for maybe a center, a Common Maliwak, or an edge or maybe a Trey Johnson, a bucket scorer. I'm not going to say Ace is going to fall out of top 5. I think that would be wild. But I think definitely he could. There is a chance he falls in top 4 if a team like the Hornets get that third pick. But if we got the third pick, I think we're taking Ace Bailey, no doubt, just because he has that scoring prowess that makes you look like, damn, a young Kevin Durant potentially, or Tracy McGrady, I've heard. So if you have the third pick like you're Brooklyn, you get Ace Bailey all day. That is a guy, if you develop him the right way, get him stronger physically, and unlock the defense and all the way he can bring, he could be a legit potential young star in 2 to 3 years. But depending on other teams' needs, they might actually pass over Ace just because they might need different areas of need, like at center or scoring guard, or maybe even point guard.
Right. My thing is, I don't trust. You know how I don't trust our general manager too much.
Mm-hmm. I get it. Trust me. You see me and Gary, we've made our points pretty straightforward about it.
Yeah, I did bring up some valid points. But the whole thing is, I think he can pick well, but running a team is a different thing.
Right. It's a very big thing.
It's a big thing. And I mean, he has a tendency of picking a certain type of player that he wants, and then he just doesn't fill in the roster the way it needs to be.
Right.
So you got to maximize what you got. Our draft picks. We are probably going to fall back a little bit. I'm hoping that we get the number 1 pick. Really, they saying that we have a 9% chance, but I feel like we could do a little better. You know, we can probably, if the league is in our favor of giving us a draft, I think we do. I really believe we do. And second of all, I want to talk a little bit about Dylan Harper.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I know we need a guard, and whether we get a guard, I think we can get a good guard later down in the draft. If we don't pick Dylan Harper, or we fall behind the first pick, we'll probably get the second or the third or the fourth. would would Edgecombe be a good enough pick, and then a center would be a second pick?
That's very interesting. If we get the 4th pick, I definitely think Edgecombe would definitely be higher on our ladder. Just look at what he's done. He's actually progressed. If you look at his games from the beginning of the season, he was very awful. Wasn't a lot of rhythm there. He was showing you some athletic dunks. That was it. But as he progressed this season, defensively got a lot better. Rebounding got better. Offense got better. He's definitely improved, and I think he really has potential to be a 3-level player in this league. If you have the right coaching staff, you get this guy stronger, he could be the potential wild card of this draft. Some of us say he has a baby Ant-Man in him if he actually meets his full potential. But there's also some red flags where is this guy anything more than just an athletic guy that can defend a little? Everybody looks at the scoring and if you can put it all together. But I think if you get him, he's a great project for Coach Jordy. A canvas with all the tools, just needs to put it all together. So if we get Edgecombe, I definitely think your next priority would be center. And that Bucks pick is looking really good. The Bucks are bunched up with a lot of teams right now, and they're facing some very tough competition. So if that Bucks pick falls anywhere from 17 to 19, I would definitely try to get Thomas Sorba with that pick. You look at Sorba this year, he's definitely showing you a lot of impressive things. Rebounding's been good. He's got some good offense, and he's more of like a traditional big that you kind of need in the NBA right now. We really need that. Claxton, Dayron, and they have their flaws. They have some good moments, but you just realize like you need an actual big that can do a lot more than what they're doing right now. So if we get Edgecombe and Thomas Sorber with our lottery and Bucks pick, I think that's a great start to your draft night. You get the best player you could get with your lottery pick, and you get a center, which is a position of need. And with the remaining 2 picks, if we don't get a point guard in the lottery, I'll look at Boogie Fland. He is very gettable in that top 20 bracket for us. He could potentially be a backup point guard, or if he does well on that team, he could start for a bit. So if you get Edgecombe, Sorber, and Boogie, use those last 2 picks to get some good project pieces, I think that's a successful draft night if you're Sean Marks. So I hope that answers your question a bit.
Yeah, that's a good point. I definitely like Edgecombe. There's also Trey Johnson and Derek Queen, which Derek Queen's moving up.
Oh, he is.
He is definitely. It's going to be difficult. I don't want that to be my first pick. Now that I think about it, but I mean, if he's just, I would take Kalaman. Kalaman.
It's come on, Maluak. Say it like a New Yorker. Come on.
say that 10 times real fast.
Come on.
But he's I would take him. But Sean Marks don't pick centers like that.
You don't pick 7-footers, and that's a huge problem. But I would tell you this: if your pick is around 7 through 8 somehow, you should get Common Maluak. If we have to work backwards a bit, get the best center available in the draft, because defensively, Maluak is the best center in this draft. Offensively, Derek Queen is the best center in this draft. But you want to have a system that fits what Jordy's trying to build right now. Defense is what Jordy really wants to build. So if you get Common, I wouldn't be upset at that, because he has the defensive intangibles. Will his offense translate to be on a starter's level? That's the gamble you take with Maluak. But if you have to work backwards and get him, you finally have a center that can go up against the other centers in the league, something we really need if we ever want to be a serious team. The sooner we get away from the small ball philosophy that's really killed us the last few years, you are going to start catching up to the leagues a bit just by having a center that's over 7 foot and defensively can hold his own. So if we get Maluak with a 7th, we have to work backwards a bit, but we could still get a point guard or a forward later in this draft somehow.
Right, because you can always get Lam McNeely or somebody else later in the late rounds.
Right.
He's not going to pick a 7-2. I know.
Yeah, odds are not that high right now, unless he ate the GM on draft night.
He is not going to pick a center that. Yeah. I can see him. Yeah, I don't even see him picking Derek Queen. Really, to be honest.
I got a question for you with Trey Johnson. Everything I hear is a great bucket scorer, but the thing is fit and position. He identifies as a 2-3 right now. He's not a point guard. Cam Thomas, he's showing you he can be a point guard a bit, but his endurance factor is what everybody wonders. Can he be that for 4 whole quarters every night going forward and have consistency with 7 to 8 assists a night? That's a big question mark still, because naturally he wants to score. He was 8 for 23 the other night, still had over 20 points, but being a playmaker takes away some of Cam's scoring ability, but overall makes him better as a player. But if you get Johnson, who's playing the one, and would it be a gamble for you to have two bucket scorers on this team, even though the positions would be a little mixed? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I think Trey Johnson. I watched him play. I actually watched a couple of games with him playing, and I wasn't impressed with his defense. His scoring ability is okay. It's good. He shoots a lot. He reminds me of like Cam Thomas.
Exactly. That's the worry. And people say that he's a better version of Cam. So isn't it a little redundant to get a better version when we should try to get the versions of areas that we really need to address?
I think people say that because he's 6'6". That's why they figured he could shoot over people or whatever, or he'll be much more versatile as far as rebounding and stuff like that. But he never showed that. But it's a chance. I mean, that's a tough question, man. That is a tough position to be in. Right. I mean, if you fallen that far back to get him, would I get a center over? I mean, you got other people behind him. You got Jeremiah Fears.
Good question.
I mean, he's a point guard. I mean, you need a guard.
Right.
And Fears, if you get a guard, you get a center too. You get one of your wings.
Fears is definitely a very interesting topic. I literally call this kid his nickname the Lightning Bolt. He kind of rose up out of nowhere, and really offensively, some people say he's got a little Westbrook in him, where he can go to the rim. He's got some good scoring chops. He can play make. So some people say that. Well, Ice definitely says that he's the second best point guard in this draft. So if we have the 6th or 8th pick, are we going to take a chance on Fears? I think there's an opportunity there, and I think having Fears with Thomas makes a lot more sense than Johnson with Thomas, because at least if you have Fears, he's the one, Thomas is the two. There's no overlapping. There's no guy has to convert to a position. Instead of having to convert to a position like Thomas is trying to do, just get the point guard, and Thomas could be a natural scoring guard. There's no overlapping each other. I think that makes way more sense for balanced roster construction. That's what the goal should be for this summer. Don't just be redundant. Don't get players that play the same position. Get the players that meet the areas of need and balance out the other players on the team. So I might be tempted to get Fears over Trey Johnson if our pick is around 6 through 8, just because point guard is a high area of need. So if you get Fears, you could still get Thomas Sorber as well. So if we get Fears and Sorber with our lottery and Bucks pick, that's another great night. That's a combination that I'd be happy with if we selected those two.
Right. Yeah, I definitely would like to get Jeremiah Fears. I think I like his game. I watched him play a little bit, and I like his game. He's lightning quick. He kind of reminds me of what you call him from the Cleveland, the point guard for Cleveland.
Garland Mitchell?
Yeah, a little bit. A little more explosive, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's definitely got the potential there, and his story kind of fits our story. We came out of nowhere a few years ago. Nobody's expecting us to compete with 0 picks, so that Fears kind of fits that narrative we're trying to create again. So I would like to invest in somebody like that if we get a chance to draft him. I think point guard, center, and power forward are our main areas of need. If we miss out on Ace Cooper, it goes from a forward to getting a point guard with your lottery pick, and if those options are out the way, I guess you have to work backwards and get a center like a Maluak or Derek Queen and try to get a point guard later in the draft. So there are different ways to go about this. You hope that the odds fall in your favor. Getting Cooper would be great. But for me right now, Scott, if the 76ers pick goes to OKC, which is out of top 6, we should be in that top 6, no doubt. Because affiliating in that top 6, that means there's an open spot for a team like us to be in that top 6. So as long as we're in the top 6, I think it's a successful way for us to utilize the lottery pick effectively. If we're out of top 6, that's when I have real questions for why the organization led the way they did this year in such a lackadaisical, passive fashion, because you want to have a chance at the best pick possible to not change your future with just one guy, but to finally start building a structure and foundation by getting one of those top picks. So if that happens and falls in our favor, great for us because we get to actually start the process the right way. But I would just be happy getting in that top 6 slot right now based on how crazy the season has been.
Yeah. Considering how much stuff we've been through, Yeah, the
Right.
top 6 is necessary. I mean, as much moves as he made, you would think that's what he was trying to do.
You would think, but you know, Jordy took over, and the crazy thing is, I think he hired Jordy on the false pretenses. When he got Jordy, we still had Bridges, Johnson. I guess we were trying to compete,
He
and
was
then
trying to make a run, right?
he trades Bridges, and Jordy's like, I'm still not tanking Marks. And all Marks would say is, "Go for it, kiddo!" Like no. Why go for it when Cooper, Ace, and Harper are 3 of the best prospects, and people are rating this as one of the best drafts in a long time? Shouldn't it's the goal to be to rest the veterans? My problem has not been that we've won games against bad talent just because our talent was better. It's that you play the vets a lot this season without managing their minutes. Vets shouldn't be playing at the end of quarters trying to win you games. Put it on the young guys to see if they can do it by themselves and earn a spot on this team. That's what player development and evaluation is. But mostly the season, we've relied on Dennis Schroeder's, D'Lo's, and Cam Johnson's to like win us games. I'm like, what is the thought process here? Are we trying to get a top pick? Or are we trying to be middle tier bottom? Because being in the middle is such a risk right now, Scott. At least if you commit to being slightly towards the bottom, it means you want to do this right and get top lottery picks. So I hope this works out for us. But this organization led things in such a weird way this year. Being the middle is not where we should be. We were a half a game, Scott, out of a
For the
playing
playoff.
situation before we woke the hell up. Thank gosh for that. But damn, we were wondering there, what are we doing?
Well, we did have new people that was tanking in the like Philly and stuff, which I didn't see that at the beginning of the year, but I didn't see them winning a title neither. But I didn't see them being down at the bottom with us. I really didn't see that.
Pelicans too. I thought they were going to have a good season, and then when they got snake bit in the first 10 games, I'm like, yikes!
Yeah,
This ain't how it's supposed to work out. And then Dallas, they traded away Luka in one of the craziest nuclear trades of all time.
They just
and
changed the landscape.
they might be a casino in a few years, so they should get a top pick either.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, it's been crazy. I knew that a lot of things was going to happen in this draft, but what really scares me is the next draft, which I don't even understand why. I thought this was a good draft.
Right. Well, the crazy thing is the top 3 next year, you look at them, A.J. DeBosa, Darren Pearson, Cam Boozer, all offensively are really solid young scorers in high school, mind you, but they look really dang good, and you want to get one of those top 3 next year. Like, you really do. If you fall out of it, you can still get some decent talent, but if you're a team that's looking to change your future for the better, you want to be in that top 3 any way possible.
I haven't really looked at the board for 2026.
Yeah, but I would definitely, if you're looking into it, look into those 3 names for sure. I have this new tagline I'm doing. If AJ DeBosa is Godzilla, Darren Peterson is King Kong. That's how close those 2 are going to be in the top next year for sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Adrian DeBosa.
AJ's a good young kid, but he's got an ego. I heard him saying he wants to go play with Wemby and Paolo, and I'm like, dude, you might not get to play with those guys if you get drafted. Like, that worries me a little bit. But this Darren Peterson kid, offensively, from what I'm hearing, he could be the one in that draft, maybe over AJ. So I can't wait till we start looking at what they're going to do in their college years, because I'm hearing a lot of good things.
Okay. Let me just bring it up. Yeah, AJ DeBosa, BYU. I seen clips of him, but I ain't never really watched him play though. Peterson with Kansas.
Hey Scott, I went out there for a second. I'm back.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, Peterson, AJ DeBosa, BYU, and Peterson from Kansas, 1 and 2. Oh, Boozer is 3. I seen Boozer play. Boozer is nice.
He looks like a boulder out there. Like he I would say he's the most versatile prospect in that draft, offensively and defensively. He's pretty good.
Yeah, they 6'9" though. They like wings, but he's heavy. No, he's not that heavy. He's 215. Okay.
Not the way he plays.
Yeah, well, he probably play more like Paulo.
Maybe, but I'm not going to go too far there yet. But he's definitely got a lot of good chops for sure.
I got to check him out. I haven't really I seen Wilson from North Carolina play. He's pretty good. Okay. This draft is not bad. It's a lot of wings and small forwards, yeah.
But getting in that top three would definitely change your future. So if we get
Oh,
a
yeah.
Cooper to Harper and follow it up with one of those three, this couldn't have gone any better for us in rebuilding, really. But if it doesn't, you still have pieces you could get in this draft to still build something competitive. You're probably going to have to go after a superstar that comes available in trade a year or two down the line. So there's the two scenarios. This could work out really great for us, or it might not work out as great. You still get some good pieces, but you're going to have to eventually go back into the superstar bag. But you would hope you could just draft it organically somehow. But it depends on how this organization leads the team. Every year, it's a different direction. Like, if we could just commit to one direction, everything's consistent, we would be in a much better position than we are right now.
Right. I'm definitely feeling Dylan Harper though too, but I know we only going to get one of them three if we get anything.
Unless we put 31 picks on the table, Scott.
I want, you know me, I want the first three.
Let's make it happen, Jim, Scott. If they could turn the Mavs into a Vegas casino, we can turn this into a 3 prospect superstar team.
Do you think they would be able to trade off a pick and move down in the draft? You think? I haven't seen it. I've rarely seen that.
I definitely think we should. I know people say this draft is really good, but there are some teams in this draft, Spurs and OKC, who don't want to be rebuilding. They want to get pieces right now. And it seemed like the Nets. We have Johnson, we have Claxton, we have some vets on this team. So if they're willing to trade their lottery picks for us for Johnson, one of our later picks, done deal. Get the deal done and send him on his merry popping way.
Give him a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, something like that. And the crazy thing is this: if we would have traded Johnson before the deadline, we would have had to maybe trade those later picks. But now if you want to trade Johnson to move down, we have to trade our later picks, which is unfortunate, but I'll still do it at the end of the day. I think our best bet for draft night is it should be a very active draft night. We have 31 picks. I wouldn't mind if Marks makes moves like draft some of our picks that we're not going to necessarily use to move up into the 2026 draft. I'd be happy with moves like that. This should be a very active draft night. It's not just who you draft, how you could trade down, how you could trade back, how you could trade for next year's draft. Like, there are many different routes to go through in draft night, and I hope Marks actually can finally put on a masterclass and actually show us that there's a construction going on here. This should definitely not be a boring night for Brooklyn is all I'm going to say on that right now. It should be a very active night all around.
I definitely agree. Definitely agree with that. I just don't trust Sean Marks. I really don't. I mean,
you're not alone.
I just don't trust what he's going to do. He better not do nothing stupid. He better not trade
for
our
Ben
future.
Simmons. It doesn't get any worse than that, Sky. Trade for Ben Simmons.
Well, at least he got rid of him. Well, he should have been got rid of him, but I mean, you know, that's hearsay, but he did get rid of him.
You know the crazy thing is, Scott, though? We actually traded Kyrie Irving and James Harden for a 76ers pick. That's what we traded them for. Like, it's crazy. Wow. If I was trading James Harden to 76ers, Tyrese Maxey should have been on the damn plane. I don't care about Drummond. I don't care about Curry. I want Maxey. If you want one of the best scorers in the league in James Harden, Maxey has to come on the ship. And instead, we took back Ben Simmons. Like, Marks gets overplayed in trades a lot. And the crazy thing is, he gives away assets and players for free. The picks we gave to the Rockets for Harden, the picks we gave away to Rockets again for our own picks back, no protections on any of the picks. You can't be that inconsistent like that or reckless. You got to put protection on 1 or 2 of the picks. Like Mark gives away this stuff like it's candy at a Halloween party. That can't happen.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, he do give away stuff. He should have. I don't know what he was thinking about when he did that. Just 1 fucking pick. You giving away a potential Hall of Famer for 1 pick.
Seriously, even with Kyrie Irving, I know they traded him to the Dallas Mavs because they want to spite him. He went to the finals the following year. I would have done the Lakers for Westbrook's expiring contract and 2 of the Lakers' first picks. Hey, even if the Lakers' picks weren't valuable, I would have gotten way more back for Kyrie than would have gotten back for trading to Dallas. That's for sure.
Yeah. They have Thomas Sauber way back at 21. We can probably get him.
Oh, we could. If that Bucks pick falls anywhere from 18 to 20, I think we have a great shot.
Do we have a shot for that? They was St. Joseph's. Rasheed Fleming. I mean, I've never seen him play.
Rasheed Fleming, he's a pretty good player. The thing is, I think he's a junior or senior, so he's a little older. But he's 6'9", and he's a great 3-point shooter. I think he's shooting over 37% from three, so he's got some good intangibles. But for me, I feel like Rasheed Fleming would make sense for a team that's looking to compete because he's a little older. But if we
Right.
get him, I don't mind it because he's got a bit of savvy veteranness in him. He's a little older and he's a scorer, so I won't be upset if we get him with the pick. But I think we probably want to get a little younger, I guess, in this draft.
Yeah. I never seen him play though. I'm gonna watch and see if on Washington with Isaiah Evans and Knicks, Boogie Flan. Boogie Flan fell way back.
Yeah, but he's got speed. I'm telling you, he gives Tyrese Maxey speed. Kid's a bullet out there, and he's got some good scoring chops. I feel like his energy would be great on this team. I feel like I think it was you said it. Jordy likes to run. This kid can run, so and he could dispense the ball a bit too. So maybe he could be a good backup point guard for us in the later part of this draft. If we miss out on a point guard, I'd be open to it.
Right. Oh, he's a point guard, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The only thing is a little undersized, though, and I know people want bigger players, but at the end of the day, you want to get the best talent in that part of the draft, especially if you need a point guard.
Yeah, he's 6'2". Yeah, he's small. He's short, too. Probably 6 feet.
Oh, trying to shrink them down?
Yeah, because they always. I like Danny Wolf. He moved down in the draft, too.
He could be a late center option for us if we miss out on Sorber, I think.
He could fall in the second round.
There's another guy to look at, Carter Bryant. He's 225 pounds, small forward, but he's got all the intangibles: athleticism, defense, speed, physicality. He just doesn't have an offensive game, but he has all the raw skill sets you could develop. Like, he's literally a canvas. If we miss out on Asa Cooper, I'd like to get him one of our late picks, because we do need a forward.
Right.
If we miss out on the top options.
What's his name?
Carter Bryant.
Carter Bryant. Okay. Well, the draft is going to be interesting. It's going to be good. I'm thinking about going to the draft. I'll probably try to get some tickets. I don't know.
You gonna be in front, first table?
No, I can't afford the front table. I know they want.
Well, you're Scott from Gamer's Apartment. He should get the first table. Scott from Gamer's Apartment. I'm starting it now. Put that stuff on Twitter.
I can't believe it's thousands of dollars to go to the draft. I can't believe that.
They should put a big screen out there with tables for people that can't get in to watch the draft. That would be awesome. Imagine what the podcasters do it right outside and look at the big screen.
Yeah,
that would be
crazy. Let's take a look. I want to take a look at something else.
Mm-hmm.
There's one more thing I want to talk about that was real important. And that was Wait one second. Let me bring it up. Cooper Flagg's injury. And the reason why I want to bring it up is I don't think it would change where he get drafted at.
Interesting.
But it could impact the rest of the picking. I'm wondering if some teams, well, his injury wasn't that bad though. He did come back on the bench in the game, which I probably as a coach would have been like, stay in the back. But sometimes you have to let people know you okay. Oh, he has a shot of playing back, coming back Friday. Oh, okay. All right, let me bring that up. Bring that up. This is ESPN. ESPN brung up that Flag Friday might play in Friday semifinals. So apparently his injury is not that bad. So it would be really diminishing Duke's front court at full strength with Blue Devils have a near perfect rotation, a balanced starting five. Veterans and an instant impact score on the bench. Plus size, well, Duke is Duke has a good team. So, well, at least from the standpoint of his injury, it's it's likely that that he'll play. There's no reason for him to play another game until the second round. Okay, so they're going to sit him down and get him a week's rest. They can afford to do that. The good thing is that it's not serious, because if it was, they wouldn't even be talking about him playing. But would they? Would they say anything? I mean, his future, he's a number 1 draft pick. But I'm quite sure everybody's been on it, so. Sitting Flag for Saturday's finals, too. So he might miss both of them. Okay, so apparently, yeah, that ankle is swollen. But at least he didn't break nothing or damage anything. That's a common thing for, ball players, ankle injuries and stuff. So he went down with a left ankle injury in the first half. Spotted in wheelchair, ultimately did not return for the second half. What negative, indicating it's a sprain, but that's a real long shot that he returns. Okay. Well, he has a sprain, nothing broke, nothing, no ripped, torn tendons or anything like that. I don't think that would jeopardize his draft position. He'll still be picked and he'll still be the number 1 pick. The NBA needs him to come out, and he'll fit really good at Brooklyn. Okay. Okay, let me put the link back up there for. Okay, so I'm gonna end the show right now anyway. And don't forget to like and subscribe. I had technical difficulties at the beginning of the show, but everything is much better now. I think I solved the problem that I was having with it disconnecting. Yeah, I hear you. Does it keep dropping you out? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, because I had problems logging in this morning at 8:30, so that's why. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a switch. I'm a switch back to something different. But you know, I'll give this a shot for a little longer. But I definitely have problems with YouTube connecting to YouTube. So it is what it is. But I'm gonna get off now. I'm gonna get back on next Monday. I didn't know Tuesday. Tuesday I'm gonna come back on at 8:30. So I'd like to thank everybody who see the video, like and subscribe. This is John and me, Scott, Apartment Gamer and more. Thank you for showing up. Thanks, John, for showing up. And we'll see you later. Peace.